It's the NFL on EA Sports.
And we're in for a show from Anthony Richardson.
He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Colts and the Dolphins.
And it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
Our coverage of the NFL has brought us to one of the league's most recognizable homes, Lucas Oil Stadium, opened in 2008 here in Indianapolis. Glad to have you with us, football fans. Kate Scott and Brock Hewitt up here in the broadcast booth. And Brock, one side with a clear advantage coming into this one, coming off the bye week. While their opposition, well, not only are they less rested, but they're coming off a big L as well.
Just a reality. I'm sorry. Just a reality of the NFL that every season you're going to catch somebody coming off a bye who had more time to rest up than you did. And if you feel sorry for yourself, well, you're probably going to lose. When these games come along, it's time to grit your teeth.
Jason Sanders is out, ready to kick this one away. And here we go from Indy. Has this at the 6. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. So out come the Colts for their first offensive possession. Bringing them out to 4th overall pick, who unfortunately had that rookie season cut short at just 4 games. Good to have him back from Florida, Anthony Richardson.
Last week, Kate, you won't call his effort wasted, never. But you wish a game like that would have come in a win instead of showing up in a contest they ended up dropping. 2 touchdowns, no picks. That's the type of game that wins are typically built off of.
And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards. 2nd down now, 7 to go.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 32-yard line.
Play action with Richardson. He's on the move. Now here he goes again. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
That is so demoralizing for a defense. You lock things down in coverage. You do everything right on the back end, only to see the quarterback escape, evade the pressure, and get that first down anyway. Ugh.
Richardson now on 1st and 10. He locates Adonai Mitchell. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. Following that completion, remember the O-line looks to be in some pain. They're headed out to take a look at him now. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Here's the first carry for Jonathan Taylor. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field.
Holding offense.
A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. Working from the gun, it's Richardson. This one delivered off target, Brock. That's incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
3rd and long, it's Richardson. That's caught for the first. It's an Indianapolis touchdown! The Colts drop 80-plus yards and take a 6-0 lead. It's an Adonai Mitchell touchdown! He finds one of his great receivers, Brock, and they are off to a great start to begin this ballgame.
Yeah, it's such a positive offensively when you could go find not just a field goal, but a touchdown on that opening drive. And defensively, this starts to shake the foundation of your preparation and makes you wonder what's in store.
Gay with the point after. And the Colts will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Set to return, this is Braxton Berrios. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. So here come the Dolphins as they get set for their debut series. They'll be led out by the 5th-year lefty out of Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa.
As you take the field coming off of a bye week, you really want to take advantage of what you just did. The self-scouting, the evaluating of yourself over the early part of this season, and make sure you capture what you want to do and what you have to do over the rest of the season.
Tua taken right to the air. And his game will begin with an incomplete pass. Now we've got a pause. Timeout called on the offensive side of the ball. They send Hill right. First give of the game here to Raheem Mostert. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
I know they say it any time he comes up in an interview, but they appreciate having him on this defense so much, Kate, because of plays like that one. Those are great instincts. It takes instincts and want to come up and run support, and not many corners can make that stop.
Encroachment, defense.
So he jumped too early, and that's going to cost him 5 yards.
Still third down.
After the flag, they've got 3rd and 9 to figure out. Tua now from the gun. He's going to try to drop it in deep right. And he's there to send that one away incomplete.
I don't fault the look downfield at all. I mean, that's just a situation there where it's a better defensive play than the offense executing.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. Fair catch made here at the 30-yard line. The Colts and Anthony Richardson headed back onto the field. And it's not just a blip for him this year. He's been one of their go-to scorers on the ground as we get through the heart of this season, leading all quarterbacks in rushing touchdowns. They've got first down from the 31. Drive starts with an option, right side. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Straight ahead with Taylor. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
Option give to Taylor. And he won't win the race to the outside. That run's bottled up at the line. We get a stoppage here. One of their big blockers up front. In some pain following that play. He's being attended to. 2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. From the shotgun, it's Richardson. Hauled in by Downs. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And it'll be first down, Colts.
First down.
Shotgun snap now to Richardson. Completed over the middle. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Running right, this is Taylor. A flag's down as he stops. Looks like this one's on the offense.
Holding. Offense.
So now, partner, got to reevaluate what to do on this next snap because the holding call pushes him back quite a ways. Double the distance to go after that holding call. It's now 1st and 20. Richardson escapes the pocket. Now he takes it. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A big 34-yard pickup there. And that gives them 1st and goal.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. From the red zone now. Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete.
I'll tell you what that deflection right there, Kate, tells me. That defense was following and reading the quarterback's eyes. Knew exactly where that throw was going. And it takes a little bit of intuition, a little bit of feel.
Oh, they get to him behind the line, and he loses the football. Oh, they got it back. They can try and salvage something. Ooh, let's give him a second there. Give him a sec. I'm going to imagine his heart's probably going, what, 150, 160 beats per minute right now, Brock, after nearly losing that fumble.
Yep, and it wasn't just a ball he dropped there. It was at least 3 points, too. But fortunately, that ball stays with him in the red zone. And now I'm really curious. It's one of those moments, Kate.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. Good pressure from the defense there has them trending in the wrong direction.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. Not for that defense who puts a sack on the board. That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Here's a return from the 7. They track him down, but a nice return in the end there, Brock. He's up to the 38. So Miami headed out for its second drive of the game. And they haven't gotten very far into their opening script yet, have they? Just a 3 and out to begin this game. Counter give to Mostert. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Zaire Franklin there to make the tackle. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. That's knocked away by a defender, incomplete.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
Throwing, here's Tagovailoa on 3rd. Escapes out to the left. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for QB to inspire the guys around him, calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Tagovailoa back to throw. Hauled in by Waddle. They get an even 10 on that play. And it'll be 1st down Miami. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Here's a give inside to Mostert. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. Making the stop that time, Nick Cross. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8. Tight end going in motion here. Tua out of the pistol. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete.
Yeah, I know nobody's perfect, and all you have to do is listen to me and how many words I screw up. But you certainly expect those throws of that length to be 100%. They've got to be borderline automatic in this offense.
And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on 3rd down? Well, they chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
Aubrey puts it through, and that'll bring it back to within a score. The lead's 7.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Indianapolis offense ready to take another swing at it. They come in on a little 2-game skid, Brock, but in control of this one so far. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Richardson. And a man is there to knock that away.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, well, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
That one way too far up there. They can't connect.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
Richardson on third. Then he's off the mark there. Too far behind him to adjust. That brings up fourth down.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and third downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
He has it at the 33. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. It's a 54-yard punt that time. And it'll be Dolphins football. Markers reset, ball at the 37. They motion Waddle over left. The drive begins with a run for Mostert. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Off the play fake. He gets it complete to his man, Tyreek Hill. That play good for 17 on a first down.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Now movement as somebody goes early. And for the first time today, we're going to hear from our officials.
Ball start, offense.
One of the most common penalties in the sport, and the reaction, it's the same every time, Brock. Frustration from the coach as they get backed up 5 yards. Shotgun snap now to Tagovailoa. He's stepping up and takes off with this one.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And they bring him down. Looks like he got it to the 27. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run in need of some attention. And they've got themselves another first and 10. They kick the running back in motion. First down, Tagovailoa to throw. Completes this one to Hill. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to give the Dolphins a first down. Shotgun handoff for Mostert. And he only manages one. Couple of defenders there to bring him down.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
And he's out of bounds at the 3. Nearly got to the end zone there. Third and a lone yard coming up. Tagovailoa now working from the gun. And he rips this one out and over the back of the end zone. Incomplete.
Well, you got to have a short memory in the NFL. Incompletions happen. Now you got to make the adjustment and go get the next one.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on fourth. They'll go. It's Mostert. Dodges the tackle, and he's in. Touchdown. The Dolphins reach pay dirt for the first time this game. Raheem Mostert, the touchdown. Those defensive coaches got to be hot, Brock. That was a touchdown that shouldn't have happened. That tackle should have ended it.
You try bringing down one of these NFL running backs then, Miss Kate.
Okay, touche, partner.
They see that goal line. They smell that goal line. It is no sure thing to try to bring down one of those horses before they find pay dirt.
That one splits the uprights. And the Dolphins tie things 10-10. Sanders all set to send it away. Returning it from the 4. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Oh, hang on there. Hang on a moment. Looks like we've got an injured player on the kick return. They're going to check on him now. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Taylor gets it to begin the drive. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
Holding. Offense.
Well, partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard. Running it after the penalty. Juke the defender. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
This has the makings of a shootout. A lot of points, but still tied as we reach the end of one. Both teams neck and neck so far. We'll take a brief pause and head back to Lucas Oil Stadium after this. Ready now for our 2nd quarter. The Colts have the football. They have 2nd and 9 for their first play. Throwing now, Richardson. He's throwing deep to the left side. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done, incomplete. Clean breakup on that throw. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. Here's Richardson. And that one's too far in front of him, so now they're facing 4th down.
Can't cover it much better than that really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Another punt coming up for Rigoberto Sanchez. And he calls for the fair catch, and he's got it at the 14-yard line. The Dolphins back out on offense as we see Raheem Mostert again. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. First play of the drive. Here's Mostert. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
He puts some power on a deep one left. Had the window to go deep, but just couldn't make it happen. Now it's 3rd down. Trying to connect with Tyreek Hill there. So they're left facing 3rd and long. Throwing now, Tunga Vailoa. Taken in by Smith. Decent gain here, but short of the 1st.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
And he's hit before he can get anything on that return. The Colts headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And he's been more than just his work as a passer this season. Look at this. He's gotten the job done on the ground as well. 2nd among NFL quarterbacks in rushing yards. Taylor gets it on 1st and 10. And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
And they had that one contained right at the line. Zach Sealer there to bring him down. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd down and 5.
Now Richardson to throw. Short pass caught by his tight end. And defenders arriving in support to finish him off at the line.
No gain on
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the fourth down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
That hits at the 9, but nobody around to grab it. It carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. He's on the move. Now here he goes. He gets a little something out of it before sliding to a stop. 2nd down now, 7 to go. From the 23. And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete. No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Here's Tua. Escapes the punt. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down. So the Dolphins readying for the punt. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. And he makes the fair catch inside the 45. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And the Colts will take over. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Richardson. Catch made by Mitchell. And he's stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about.
Holding. Offense.
Fighting all he could to keep his quarterback upright, but crossed the line there. That earns the holding penalty. Now a toss play. Taylor jukes one defender, and he found some running room for a nice gain. Pickup of 7, and they're going to need similar results now. 2nd and 13. Shotgun, handoff to Taylor. And looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Tackled on the play by Shaquille Barrett. Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9.
Brings up 3rd and 9.
And he could have a free play here. Over to Pittman on the sideline. Caught. And this play heads out of bounds. Marker down, though, Brock. Could be some free yards here. Offense liked how that play went, so they choose to decline the penalty.
That penalty is declined.
Markers reset. Ball at the 37. They'll run here following the penalty. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. A long-time standout, Calais Campbell there for the stop. 2nd and 6 coming up here.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and
From the 34. Into traffic, complete. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. The end result there, 15 yards and a 1st.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
1st down from the red zone. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete. Looking for Michael Pittman Jr. on that throw. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Taylor now up the middle. And he doesn't find open space. He only finds a defender who makes the stop. This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10.
Richardson now. That's incomplete. Trying to set up the screen there.
Intended for Jonathan.
So many coaches love 3rd downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know got to execute and convert on these 3rd downs.
Up and good from Fairbairn. And that's going to break our tie and give them a 3-point advantage.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Barrios now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Dolphins sending their offense back out there. Their last drive didn't make it very far before they had to punt it away, partner, so hopefully this one has some better legs to it. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Tua now from the gun. Finds his man, Waddle. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. 2nd and 3 now.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 34-yard line.
Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. Connection made to Raheem Mostert. He's got room to roam here. And he's tackled with markers down. This one should be on the defense.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Just a momentary loss of focus, a break in discipline, and not a good moment individually as he gets hit with that personal foul. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete. First time this game they've looked to him. So now it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal.
Achane will not get past the line. He's held up at the 4.
Well, now things get a little dicey for this offense. One down left before a big decision to make. Do you continue to try running it against a front that stopped you, or are you now forced to put the ball?
And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. The Dolphins take a 2nd quarter lead. Tyreek Hill the touchdown. It's plays like this that make him so well regarded across this league, Brock.
Yeah, such just a difference-making receiver, Kate.
Yep.
You expect him to be the target down here. You did, I did, the defenders did. But what makes him a star is even when people know his number's being called, he still finds a way to deliver.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Dolphins take a 4-point lead. Sanders all set to send it away.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return.
At their own 24-yard line.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Play action with Richardson. Bails out of the pocket quick. He's on the move.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
Quick slant taken in by Pittman. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. Some movement there before the snap, right side of the line. This is going to back them up.
Ball start. Offense.
So tough to stay set when you've got defenders doing everything they can to make you jump, and, well, they got one of them to move that time. From the shotgun, it's Richardson. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down.
You'll often hear it said, in my life experience, it's true, the NFL is a game of matchups, so much more than any level. And these tight ends, we see it time and again, are such a matchup nightmare down the field.
And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. It's a 4-yard gain, and that's going to get him across the marker and earn the 1st.
At the 49-yard line.
Now there's the flag. Looks like the jump came from the left side of the line.
Ball start. Offense.
There was a blitz coming, and that got somebody to panic and jump early. It cost him 5 yards. 1st down read option. He keeps it running right. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. They pick up 7 on the ground. That brings up 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Shotgun snap now to Richardson. That's brought in. It's his back, Jonathan Taylor. This is ahead for about 5. Jordan Poyer up from the secondary to make that stop. So we're at the 2-minute warning here from Indy. It's the Colts with a 3rd and 3. To throw, Richardson. And that one's incomplete. For now, it brings up 4th. Let's see what this penalty flag is all about.
Holding. Offense.
Tempting to perhaps take the yards and run 3rd down again, partner, but they decline it. That's going to bring up 4th down. Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And this will fly out of bounds to deny a return. They're going to mark it a little before the 20. The Dolphins returning their offense, and this running back to the field. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. And they've gone to him as a receiver to complement his presence in the backfield, Brock, to some good early results. On target to Waddle. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1.
At the 32-yard line.
Shotgun snap now to Tagovailoa. Short pass brought in. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Tagovailoa now working from the gun. Throwing the out route complete. And a solid gain there, gets him across the 45 before he goes out. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Here's Tagovailoa again. Able to get it to Mostert. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Here's Tua again. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And this is going to be a turnover. The defense forces the big play.
You know, this just can't happen on 1st down. It really can't. I mean, ball security is a premium on every down, every distance. But on 1st down, it is especially a killer.
The Colts have running back Jonathan Taylor headed out with the rest of the offense. So it's good field position for the Colts as they get set 1st and 10. And with all their timeouts remaining, Brock, they may be able to put a little something together here before halftime. Finds him over the middle. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. From the 47. This finds Mitchell complete. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Now hang on, looks like somebody came out after that play a little shaken up. Not sure we saw exactly what happened, but he'll get some assistance now. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Now Richardson to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. Couldn't connect on 1st, it's 2nd down. They'll throw again, Richardson. A quick slant into the hands of Downs. And that's good for a gain of 5. Tackle made by Jordan Brooks. 3rd and short yardage here, Richardson. Caught by the tight end, running that corner. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs.
That's good for the Colts. 1st down.
From the red zone now. Incomplete pass, and we're down to 12 seconds remaining. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Working from the gun, it's Richardson. Oh, no touchdown. It's intercepted. Jordan Poyer has it. And the Dolphins get the football back with minimal time to go in our half.
I know exactly what the quarterback was envisioning when he let that one go. Touchdown, baby. Not long after, I know exactly what he was thinking. Oh, no! Give me that one back, because the coverage baited him perfectly into that throw, and even more so, picked it off.
Here comes the final play of our first half. He'll throw it. He lobs it up, looking deep to the right side. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete. That brings us to the break. The visiting Dolphins holding an early advantage. Now we'll send you south to Orlando for a check-in around the league via Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, what you got for us?
All right, Kate, we'll get back to you and Brock in a bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo, where it was the Bills who pick up the victory at home. Curtis Samuel, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. From there, we head to the Big Easy to check on the Saints at home in the Superdome. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Denver Broncos. Alvin Kamara, a touchdown run in the victory. It was Raheem Mostert, the veteran who did some damage in that first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. With that, the two squads are headed out of the tunnel. So let's get you back out to Kay Scott and Brock Huard.
Thanks so much for the look around the league, Coach. But now it's time to turn our attention back to this one as we begin the third quarter. This return starts at the 5. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Dolphins getting their offense out there to start off this second half. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. They send Hill right. They go play action with Tunga Vailoa. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down. Tua off the play fake. Flushed out of the pocket. He's keeping it.
Well, this is in every quarterback's tool belt, even the ones not regarded as the best movers and shakers. But, Kate, to play QB in the league today, you've got to be able to do this. If you've got nobody open, still get some positive yards with your legs.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down.
Kate, you hear me in my talk back all the time with our producer saying, hey, circle that play. Hey, you just never know. You just never know in this league, in these games that are so close, which can be the play that really sparks the turnaround. And defensively, you needed to get off the field. Defensively, you wanted to give the ball back to your offense in a one-score game, and that 3rd down sack, well, it just did it.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. Officially a 55-yard launch. And it'll be their football. Option give to Taylor. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
That's got to be so frustrating for the runner. You're fighting the good fight. You even rip through a tackle to stay afloat, but the blocking can't buy you enough time or room to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
He breaks a tackle, and he drives ahead for good yardage up to the 45. It's an 8-yard gain, and things looking a whole lot better now. 3rd and 3 upcoming.
That's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 3.
Here's Richardson. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
That's going to be caught by Mitchell. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Wow, they get a big old 32 yards out of that play, as well as a new set of downs.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got 1st and 10 from the red zone. From the gun, Taylor. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game, right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage, B, it sets up your play action, and C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
They find 7 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
That's another Colts first down. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
Straight ahead with Taylor. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Gonna be 2nd down.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Rolling left, behind some, and he will score! Touchdown, Indianapolis! The Colts grab the lead on their first series of the half. It's an Anthony Richardson touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Starting from the 5. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. Following the play, we do have an injured man in need of some assistance, and that's the burner, Devon Achane, who's in some pain. 1st and 10 now from the 30. A give to Mostert out of the gun. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Zaire Franklin there to make the tackle. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They'll go again with Mostert. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Play made by E.J. Speed. So now here's 3rd and 5. Going play action, Tagovailoa. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete. Now whistles, and we're going to get a timeout before the kick. Punt team on, and they'll send this one away. Broke through the tackle. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. And following that return, we've got an injured player down there. He'll receive some assistance as we step aside. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. It caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And the Dolphins got it! Well, that didn't take long, Brock. One play, and they're back out there.
Well, that's how a defense can make you awfully happy as an offensive player, especially when you screw it up and you fumble. The defense picks up that offense and puts them right back on the field.
Offense returning to the field now for the Dolphins. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Throwing now, following the turnover. This finds Smith. And this is down all the way to the 3. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
Mostert. with some fancy footwork there for the touchdown. The Dolphins capitalize on that turnover and take the lead. Raheem Mostert, the touchdown. He would not be denied that close to the end zone, Brock. I think it might have taken 5 or 6 guys tackling him to keep him from diving across the line for 6.
Certainly a second effort touchdown, no question. The backs who become fan favorites, we've seen it through the generations, and they set the curve for their peers, are the ones who just fight through that stop. It will not be denied of a touchdown.
That one right down the middle. And the Dolphins take a 4-point lead. Sanders all set to send it away. Kickoff taken at the 3. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The home teams are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. This is Taylor. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. From the shotgun, it's Richardson. He's on the move. He'll try and run this, and they'll get him down after he gets into the 48.
Oh, man, those defensive players hate slippery quarterbacks. Near impossible to keep them hedged in or corral them behind the line there. He evades them long enough to turn a potential loss into positive yardage.
Play action with Richardson. And that one looked like an interception for a second. Instead, it's incomplete. Defender couldn't hang on to it. 3rd down coming up.
It's now 3rd down and less than a yard.
Now a run with Taylor. And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. He only finds a window for 2, but that's still enough for a first down. New set of downs for him from the 46.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Richardson now on 1st and 10. Completed over the middle. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. It's a pickup of 11. And it's good for an Indianapolis first down.
First down. 1st and 10.
Shotgun snap now to Richardson. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Richardson now on 2nd and 10. On target to Downs. And he's got it down to the 30 before going out. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Richardson back to throw. Catch made by Mitchell. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
All set up now for 1st and 10. And as they bring him down, let's check the penalty flag. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. To throw, Richardson. Too far out of the back of the end zone it goes, incomplete.
I like that, Kate. That's going to keep a defense honest. That proves that they're not afraid to take a shot on any given snap. And with enough looks, eventually, one's going to hit.
And that's complete in the end zone. Touchdown, Indy. The Colts take a 3rd quarter lead. It's an Adonai Mitchell touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Extra point converted by Gay. And the Colts push their lead to 3.
Dolphins 24.
Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Barrios now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. Miami set to take over once again on offense. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
He puts some air under this one, deep right. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
And he's brought down after a tremendous effort just to get a couple of yards. Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8. Off the play fake, here's Tagovailoa. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Fair catch, hauled in at the 18-yard line. No return on that punt. And they're going to take over possession. The home teams ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this, couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. They'll get this drive started, 1st and 10. First play of the drive, and he takes an option left. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
When they drop these plays for the quarterback, these are the type of results they're expecting, Kate. Something that could tear a hole in the defense, move the chains, and just as importantly, and maybe most importantly, put a seed of doubt and thought into that defensive mind that the QB could...
Oh no, he lost control of another one! And the Dolphins got it! And they limit the damage on the return, but it is still a turnover. Well, it was a very positive play to scoop up that fumble, but boy, he paid the price. He's hurt on the play and receiving some attention now. Tagovailoa off the play fake. Complete out to the right side. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Play made by E.J. Speed. 2nd and 6 coming up here.
2nd and 6 at the 28-yard line.
Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. That's Hill on the slant. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15.
Complete to number 10.
They get 13 on the pickup. And it'll be 1st down, Miami. This is the end of the 3rd quarter. It's Dolphins ball, and they're sort of in comeback mode. They trail to start the 4th. They're now set for 1st and 10. Running back sent in motion. 1st down, here's Tua. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete. Had that one, but just couldn't see it through. And now it's 2nd down. Shotgun handoff for Mostert. And they'll stop him after a short gain to the 13. Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Tua now from the gun. Drops back. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down.
As we're into the 4th quarter, we know this. We know that money down could not be any more important than right now. Both sides are certainly fatigued. You feel it in both their play. But battling through what's been a physical contest all game long, going to be the key here down the stretch.
Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And in the 4th quarter, that's going to tie the game. Sanders all set to send it away.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. Second time they brought him out for a field goal, and second time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
This offense and their quarterback making their way back out there, ready to take over once again. And there's a couple of moments we're seeing here that I think he's not going to want to be reminded of after this game. Turnovers have just interrupted his performance in this one. Made it really tough for him and this team to get into and stay in any kind of rhythm. On 1st down, it's Richardson. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Oh, they're going to run the option to the short side. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
The difference right there, Kate, between that gain and a big hit for a loss, some really quick decision-making. He made a quick read, saw the running back was going to get hit if he handed it, and he pulls it himself for a positive gain.
And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Ball start, offense.
One of the most common penalties in the sport, and the reaction, it's the same every time, Brock. Frustration from the coach as they get backed up 5 yards. Here we go, 2nd and very long. Ooh, would have been a big gainer if they connected, but they could not. Instead, 3rd down coming up.
Incomplete. It's now 3rd down and 16.
Working from the gun, it's Richardson. Bails out of the pocket quick. He's running for it. And it's a nice gain, but still not enough for the 1st.
You know, that's a really good play. I know it doesn't get the 1st down, doesn't keep them on the field, but what it does is it keeps that defense honest. And I promise you, the next time in that situation, they'll have that run in the back of their minds.
The Colts ready for the punt. And he's going to do the honors for the 4th time today. It's fielded at the 14. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. And that punt reaches 50 yards. And the Dolphins will have some work to do as they take over. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run for Mostert. And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Tagovailoa now working from the gun. He's got Smith. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Taken in by Smith. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. 2nd and 6 coming up here.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 35-yard line.
Here's a give inside to Mostert. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. That's going to be a gain of 6, and they need only inches now here on 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and inches.
They send a man in motion. A give on 3rd to Mostert. And he's brought down for a loss.
3rd and inches, and you hate to see that run go backwards. I just take myself back to a huddle, and you know you're imploring your guys, listen, just give us a little bit of a push and we will move the sticks. Instead, Well, the defense is energized with that stop.
They'll send out the punting unit. And he'll get under this one and make the fair catch at the 19-yard line. The offense being led back out by its quarterback as they get geared up for their next possession. And his effectiveness hasn't been limited to what he can do with his arm this season. On that last drive, he reached a significant mark for his efforts on the ground as well. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on first down. So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Richardson now. Hauled in by Downs. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks. Following that completion, medical staff headed out for an injured player. We'll see what the nature of his injury is. Third down, 1 yard to go. Trying to get it with the option. Wow, it's free again! And the Dolphins got it! And they stop him before he gets much on the return.
Hey, listen, I'm all for quarterbacks as artists, right? You can't be a blacksmith. You've got to be an artist. You've got to create back there. But when the world of got-tos, you also got to hold on to the ball. That's a big-time turnover.
The Miami offense headed out there now. And they'll try for better results this time around, Brock, after they had to punt it away last time out. They're set up at the 35 now. First and 10 now. Here's Tagovailoa. Able to get it to Mostert. And he's going to be out of bounds. Looks like a yard or two short of the 25. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and
Shotgun snap now to Tagovailoa. This finds Smith. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's going to give the Dolphins a first down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Didn't get that one off in time. This is going to be a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense.
Must have lost sight of the play clock there, Brock, because the quarterback could have snapped it in time, but instead, they take the penalty.
Still first down.
So they should be a little prompter in snapping this, you'd hope, Brock, after that delay of game. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do get home with that sack.
And he gets this forward to the 19.
I really like the timing of that screen call to the perimeter. Get the ball in space to operate and turns into a nice gain.
Before the snap, some early movement. Let's see which side gets tagged with a penalty.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Broke the plane before the snap, and that's going to give the offense some free yardage. After the flag, they've got 3rd and 9 to figure out. Running it after the penalty. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
So they'll let the play stand, decline the penalty, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
A 28-yard attempt.
Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And they take the lead in the 4th quarter.
That field goal gives them the lead for the moment, Kate, but you don't feel comfortable when you look up at that scoreboard. This one isn't over, and that lead certainly isn't safe.
He stopped on the return at the 27. Now after that return, we've got an injured player getting some assistance as we momentarily step aside. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Taylor gets it to begin the drive. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. 2nd down now, 7 to go. Taylor again. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
They say about great outfielders in baseball, there's just something to them. They've got a knack, a feel, an instinct to take the right line, the right angle. For safeties, to create tackles for loss in the run game, it's the exact same attribute and skill set. Got to take that right angle and then go finish that runner.
And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And a fair catch made here at the 17. So no return on that punt. And it'll be Dolphins football. This offense getting all set for this series. And they were able to contribute 3 points to the lead their last time out. Another chance to build on that advantage here. First down, Tagovailoa to throw. Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target.
That's somebody they're going to look for if he has any space deep. That space, though, Kate, just disappeared between when he let that pass go and when he actually made it down the field.
They go play action with Tagovailoa. Defense is there, and he's going down. For the moment, we've got a sack. We do, though, have a flag to sort out first before we can lock that in. Well, that play went for negative yards anyway, so no need for them to accept that penalty. He's back to throw. That's caught. He found some space. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. Now following that completion, we see a man shaken up. Officials calling for a pause as he gets looked at. They've got first down from the 31. Staying between the tackles with Mostert. And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. We've got the medical staff headed out after the play, and we see we do have somebody injured out there. Oh, it's the running back, Raheem Mostert. They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. Receiver in motion, headed right. He'll throw it. And that one is dropped. Such great work to get all by himself, but he can't haul in the gimme, and that deep shot is missed. Wow. They bring on the punt team, and they get this kick away. Same as a touchback here. Fair catch made at the 20. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Richardson. That's Mitchell on the slant. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And it'll be first down, Colts. We're down to the 2-minute warning here in Indy. Colts trail by a field goal. New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. Richardson now on 1st and 10. And will he? No, he's not going to escape. They take him down on a pivotal play late in this ball game.
A loss of 11.
And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
9-yard line.
That sure ended up being worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down, and he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Michael Pittman Jr., and that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long. Here he is to throw. Sideline throw is incomplete. Should have been intercepted in all reality. Instead, 4th down coming up.
Gosh, you could just almost feel his eyes up here, Kate, getting huge, right? He was envisioning the return, and he simply dropped it. Got to secure that pick before you think of anything else.
And it falls incomplete. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. Running on first with Mostert. And he'll come up with a gain of 3 on the run up the middle. Now we get a timeout from the Colts. That's their first. 2nd down now, 7 to go. Taps it quick to the receiver coming across. And he's able to get this down to the edge of the red zone. Timeout Indianapolis. That's its 2nd. 3rd and just 2 to go. Third and short, Mostert. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. The Colts take a timeout. That's their last one. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. With the win in hand, they'll take the knee, let this clock run out.
This is situational football at its best. There's still some time left to bleed off the clock, but the really important thing here is you've got to bleed every second of that clock that you can.
Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So it's a win for the visiting Dolphins. And this winning streak continues to grow as they claim their 4th victory in a row. So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins, your winners, as we say so long from Indy.